If you stop for a second and think, can you imagine your life without the radio? If you're like me, the answer is probably no, because the radio is a huge part of our lives. Not only my life, but our society, and it has had a huge impact historically. This is because the broadcast radio serves many purposes, including transmitting news and information. It serves as a place for discussions and debate, and obviously is a place for people to listen to music, which is a main source of communication. However, early forms of the radio did not encompass these broadcasting abilities, and it would take many years um, of innovation before broadcasting was possible. The radio was invented in the early 20th century as a new form of communication in order to transmit messages to distances long and far. Um, the radio, although who invented the radio is often disputed, it is certain that Nikola Tesla and Guglielmo Marconi were two key inventors of the radio. Um, Early radios, however, could only transmit signals and were not able to transmit sounds. It would take many technological advances before the broadcast radio was invented. However, it is clear that the broadcast radio has many uh, big impacts and importances. Firstly, the broadcast radio can transmit messages to distances all over the world. This means that no matter where you are always connected and you can keep up with global news. Um, Channels have the capability of broadcasting to places all over the world. For example, the British Broadcasting Corporation, or BBC, is a broadcasting company which uh, which transmits news all over the world. This is important because the BBC talks about news, not just news in London where they broadcast out of, but global news. So no matter where you are, each problem or news in the world becomes more of a global problem, not just a problem to the local area. This is important because it keeps our world connected. The broadcast radio is also important because it's very accessible, and almost everyone has access to it through their cars or at home or their cell phones. So at all times, you can feel connected and be kept up to date. Another main importance is that the broadcast radio is a main source of news and information. Um, when someone gets in their car in the morning to go to work, for example, they can turn on the radio and listen to the news and get up to date with their local news or a political event or pop culture gossip. No matter what it is, the broadcast radio is an extremely important source of news and information. Um, Lastly, the broadcast radio can target every listener. This means that a child can get in the car and listen to a age appropriate radio station, whether it's music or any sort of program, or someone who wants to listen to sports talk can listen to sports talk, or of course there's a music channel for every listener. So the broadcast radio is extremely important in targeting every listener. In conclusion, the broadcast radio is extremely important because it keeps our world connected through news and information, music, which is a main source of communication, or talk shows. The broadcast radio has revolutionized the way that people can stay connected, and without this invention, the world would never be the same.